Good morning, everyone. It's Robert from On My Turntable. It's Tuesday morning. It's kind of dreary out there this morning, but I'll be heading out soon to take the doggies for a walk. I'm just going to get a little drink of coffee for a Tuesday morning. Today I wanted to do part 3 of my album collection. They are no means in any order. I do a terrible job of keeping my albums in order. I do a fairly good job of my CD collection, but my album collection not so much, because I'm always pulling and taking and adding to, and there are 3 or 4 different spots as well, so it's hard to keep any type of order going with them. But I'm not going to take up too much time talking. Before we get started, please hit the like and subscribe button below. Thank you to all that have liked and subscribed so far. I greatly appreciate it. So let's get started. Spirit of America, Beach Boys. I'd love to talk about these albums, I just don't want to take up too much of your time. Lloyd Cole and the Commotion, great rocky pop band. This album was part of a collection that I was given. I was given about 80 some albums, and all these albums that I were given, bar for maybe 25 that weren't in great shape. A lot of these were pristine condition, so this happens to be one of them. And Kate Bush, again, this wasn't part of that collection. She sang a duet with Peter Gabriel on his album So, Don't Give Up. Beautiful, beautiful song. That's one of my all-time favorite songs from one of his all-time greatest albums. But she has a beautiful voice, Kate Bush. A lot of these in that collection I probably wouldn't have purchased, but I'm glad that I have them. It's opened my eyes to a lot of different music that I probably wouldn't have known otherwise. This is one of my all-time treasures, Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd. Enough said about that one. This is another one that was in that collection. This is definitely a synth new wave type of band, Yellow. Just their face just show the picture, but again, pristine condition. Little River Band, Diamantina Cocktail. That's a hard word to say. This one has Happy Anniversary, their hit Happy Anniversary on it. Another one on the collection that I was given, Jerry Harrison, Casual Gods. Pristine condition on this one. Again, kind of a rock pop type of band. The heavy hitting Nazareth, Accept No Mercy. If you notice behind me, I've changed some of my albums on the wall to add to this pile, because I talked about these albums in a previous video. So I like changing up my wall every once in a while. This great album, Moody Blues, Days of Future Past, with the London Festival Orchestra, and it's got, of course, Sunday Afternoon and the Beautiful Nights in White Satin. Great progressive rock band, Moody Blues. Steely Dan, The Royal Scam. Great album. Kid Charlemagne is a big hit off of this one. Love it. I love Steely Dan. What collection wouldn't be complete without AC/DC Back in Black? Their commercially successful hit. Probably one of the all-time favorite bands of the 80s, and the best-selling albums of the 80s, AC/DC. Still selling today, I'm sure. Had a chance to see this gentleman. Opening for him was Jeff Healey and Jeff Beck. The late, great Stevie Ray Vaughan, just an amazing, amazing blues player. Enough said about him. Supertramp, Brother Were You Bound? First album without Roger Hodgson in it for Supertramp, but a great album just the same. Saga, On the Loose. This one's their debut album. This is Chicago 5, 6, 7. This is Chicago 7. Double album. their first 2 or 3 albums were double albums, and this one continues the tradition. I love Chicago. This is REO Speedwagon. I believe it's their first or second album. It's without Kevin Cronin. He had left the band at the time, so this is more of a rockin' type of album. When you think of REO Speedwagon, you think of the big arena hits, stadium hits, but this one's more of a heavy rockin' album for REO Speedwagon. One of my all-time favorites has been for a long time, The Grand Illusion by Styx. This is Chicago 10. After this one, I stopped listening to Chicago. Terry Kath unfortunately had a terrible accident, shot himself, and it was a huge loss for the band. And after that, they just went in 10 different directions and became very poppy. But their first 10 albums were just wonderful. And so this is Chicago 10. ELO on New World Records. Beautiful album. Tightrope, Telephone Line. I mean, I love ELO. ELO is amazing. Another Styx, Paradise Theater. Okay. Classic album. Another one in that collection, The Fix. Again, the album's in pristine condition. The Moody Blues, Long Distance Voyager. This is a great album by the Moody Blues. Definitely more to add to my collection of them. I want to get more of their albums. They're just an amazing band. Crystal Ball, Styx. Another one in that collection, Hunters and Collectors. Very rockin' type of band. Again, album's in great shape. Whoever had that collection kept their albums very, very good. This is another southern rock band, Blackfoot, very heavy southern rock band. Ties with Lynyrd Skynyrd, and yeah, just an amazing heavy album. Blackfoot. One of my all-time favorite progressive rock bands, Procol Harum. This happens to be the best of Procol Harum. Carol Pope and Rough Trade. This is Avoid Freud. The great Carol Pope. ELO Discovery. One thing you're noticing is probably I don't keep my albums in any type of order, unfortunately. This is Chicago 6. Wonderful album. There's the boys there. This is Chicago's Greatest Hits. How about this one, 6-2? This one has the hit song Lady on it. The Lady wasn't very famous when it first came out, but eventually as time went past, it became one of their top hits. Excuse me. This is The Police. This features 2 of their albums, and I always have trouble pronouncing this one. Regatta del Blanc and Ghost in the Machine. There's Ghost in the Machine there. There's Regatta del Blanc, sorry for the glare. So 2 great albums in one. Speaking of not being in order, here's another Rough Trade. This one is For Those Who Think Young. I didn't know what this one was when I first saw it, and I just kind of put it back. I was going through that collection that I was given, and okay, that's kind of a weird looking cover. Turns out, after reading it, it's Elvis Costello and his great album Spike, and this has the hit Veronica on it. Who would have known? Again, that collection is something that I probably wouldn't have gone out and purchased. I was fortunate to I was given about 80 8 albums, I think, in that pile of albums. That a guy at work, his neighbor, was getting rid of her albums and asked if I wanted them, and I said sure, by all means. About 20-25 of them are the, and I did a video on those, like the K-Tel type of collection. But the other 60 some are great albums. This happens to be another one. This is another Elvis Costello. This is Almost Blue. Classic album by Elvis Costello. How about the Eagles, The Long Run? Don't have a lot of Eagles, but how about this one, In Excess Kicks? That was in that collection as well. Look how pristine it is. It's beautiful condition. One of my all-time favorites, and I think their most commercially successful album, Supertramp, Breakfast in America. Oh, this one happens to be in order. Look at this. Supertramp, Crisis, What Crisis? Supertramp, Crime of the Century. I love Supertramp. This is, again, my all-time favorites. This is, I don't know what order or how many. This is probably one of the first introductions to Supertramp that I had, and have loved them ever since. This is a kind of a hidden, what do they call it? Hidden treasure, I guess. Daryl Hall and John Oates' greatest hits. Amazing voices, great poppy hits. How about this one, Everly Brothers, Looking Back. Again, look at how this one's pristine. It's almost brand new. It's their greatest hits. Talk about duos and harmonies and amazing guitar playing. Great, great album. Again, something I probably wouldn't have gone out and purchased, but I love it. Chicago Transit Authority, their first album. I also have this in remastered CD. And again, this is anyone who wants an introduction to Chicago. And when you think of Chicago, you probably think of the poppy ballads that you hear. Get this one. Amazing. This one's not in the greatest shape, but the album sounds good. It's the three-sided Woodstock concert. Another one that was in that collection, Peter Schilling, Error for the System. Kind of a poppy rock kind of album. But again, album's in great shape. Another one I'm not too familiar with, again in that collection, Mauve. Synth, if I'm not mistaken, it's a kind of an instrumental type of album, but just the name of it is intriguing. Great band, Streetheart, wonderful Canadian band. Love this album. Another pop rock type of band, New Order, Substance, 1987. The Great Simple Minds. Again, perfect condition of these albums. Then there's this one, Men at Work. Who Can It Be Now? Yeah, beautiful. Thompson Twins. I would never have purchased the Thompson Twins, but the album was such good shape I decided to keep it. The amazing Tommy Bolin, of Deep Purple fame, great solo career, very amazing guitarist. Speaking of amazing guitarist, Rory Gallagher, Irish blues singer, player, amazing artist. Deep Purple's comeback album, Perfect Strangers, amazing, love it. I've got two copies of this one, one's sealed, this one's opened. Get the Knack by The Knack. Cheap Trick, Dream Police. The amazing Pat Benatar, her debut album. Another one by Streetheart, as you can see, not in any order. One of my all-time favorites, Jethro Tull, Aqualung, Another one by Rough Trade, go figure. Rod Stewart, I think this is his 4th album, Never a Dull Moment, with the great Ronnie Woods from Rolling Stones fame. This classic, Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell. The Heavy, Heavy Giant, Gentle Giant. Love this album cover. Oh, I've got 2 copies of this one. I didn't realize. Paradise Theater, Styx. Another one by Asia. This one is XGHS 4008. Don't know what that means, but it's an amazing album. And finally, Division Bell by Pink Floyd. Wonderful, wonderful album. Great one to stop with and finish with, but one of my all-time favorites. So that's it. That's my collection, part 3, and I'll probably be coming out with a part 4 soon to finish this up. So thank you very much. Have yourself a wonderful day, and take care. Bye now.